Do you have any idea what's the best way to keep yourself or to get yourself and your team, your family, your group back on track after you go through a big disruptive event? It could be a tragedy, like they just have tornadoes hit. In fact, I had a tornado cell go right over my head last night here in Palm Beach, actually. But if they drop down and you got a flood, you got a disaster. See, what happens, you're going along in life, you're making progress, and maybe you got your team behind you. Boop, 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 we're making progress. We're doing great things. We've hit our milestones. We're headed, we got these things we're going to. We're on track. And then somewhere in the middle of all this comes a nightmare happen. Now, this could be a sudden, it could be a surprise, like some kind of tragic weather, tornado, like we were saying, flood. Your house burns down, any kind of traffic accident, health thing, something you, your family, but it's just like, it just kind of blew up your world. Have you ever had that happen? Well, yeah, that happens. Or it could be a happy event. It could be something like a wedding. Little Darla got married. It was so great, all the rest. It could be holiday, Christmas, family came in, greatest thing. It could be a new child. Incredible. We're at the hospital, everything's great. We had triplets, we had Thanksgiving, 4th of July, had the whole family. So what do you do? How do you come out of this thing where you got, You're trying to recover, you're a little tired, you're trying to clean up the details of what you just went through, but there's still work to do. You had projects to do. You had people dependent on you. You had deadlines to keep. This was not the end of your life. This was an interruption. And you may have been able to plan for it. It could have been a convention. Our company's got a big convention coming up this week. It's going to be unbelievable, but it's going to be incredibly disruptive. Could go on vacation. These are kind of things that just scramble your eggs, scramble your world. So how are you going to come out of it and stay on track? Do you know the number one thing? Well, first of all, you've got to, depending on if it's happy, sad, or how disruptive, there's a certain amount of emotional component that you may or may not be able to control. But as soon as you can deal with the trauma, happiness adjustments, the emotional adjustments of whatever it was you went through, as soon as you can think clearly, here's what you got to do. You got to get your eyes back on the next big target. The next big target. You've got to get everybody focused on moving forward again. And you've got to, once you get yourself and you start charging, then what you'll see is everybody else are wandering. They're going to kind of come back into alignment, and they'll kind of come out eventually. As you start moving, you'll see they start following your lead, and all of a sudden now, whereas you had all this happening here, you were a mighty unified army. You had force, you had momentum, boom. But then all that got blown up, all the schedules, all the thinking, all the rhythm, you're out of it. You're going to have to put that all back together, but you do it by getting the focus on your next big deadline, target, time frame, project, whatever that is for you. You get your eyes back on that, and then you start calculating, okay, how much time we got left. Immediately your brain will go to work back into the logical mode of we got work to do. It'll start thinking about the tasks, and start putting it all together. And then that's what you'll be talking about. That's what you'll be spending your energy on. And so the people behind you will get caught up in it as well. So, how do you stay on track after you go through a tragedy, a holiday, or any big event? In terms of the disruptive impact on you, of course, it's going to be more disruptive if tornadoes come in and torn up your house. But there's going to be things you've got to do to get established. So what you do is you say, I've got to get myself come out of this. I've got to pull myself together now, get back on track, put this in the past, and get my eye on what the next big thing is, and then start moving for it. That's how you stay on track, get back on track after a tragedy, holiday, or any kind of big event. Because the quicker you can do that, the quicker you can regain your momentum and minimize your downtime and your the disruptive impact of the event. All right, that's my suggestion for you on how you come out of a tragedy or big event. I don't know if you've had to go through any of these in your life. I would imagine you have. And you may have another suggestion, a better suggestion. Leave your comments, let me know, and we'll pass them on to everybody else.